Peoples! Y'all, I'm tired. It has been such a long day. And I gotta go in here and show Miss Layla some attention because as parents, that's what we do. And she's really craving my attention right now. So I gotta play nice and go in here and play mommy. Which is probably a nice segue for what I'm getting ready to tell you all. So, I've had 3 people I had to give this to because we're still having this parental discussion about how parents show these big differences in their kids. And I am not someone who is excluded from this, simply because each of my kids points to the other one and says, Mama love you more. So let me first say this. Everybody has to put the same amount of effort into each kid. The effort should just be different because each kid is different. I hope that just made sense to a lot of you all. But here's what continuously happens. And I'm going to say this and I hope to God you all understand this. So basically what's happening is that you have, and I think I spoke on this before, but I'm going to circle back and do this again. I'm not going to go find the old video and bring it forth. We're going to hear this with some new ears and some new eyes. The problem with this is that on one side, you have the child or children that seem successful, and on the other side you have the child or children that seem like they struggle with their life issues. And what that looks like is they could have been the rebellious kid, they could be the kid that just can't keep a job, they could be the kid that you constantly having to help. And here's the difference. Here's how this typically goes. Parents choose a side, and the side that they choose is typically misguided. And this is where the whole love them the same but love them different because they are different comes in at. Sometimes you'll pour into the one that's more successful because you feel as though the other one is a lost cause. Or you'll pour all you got, your house, your home, your car, all your money, sacrifice your job for the one that's struggling. Your hair falling out, you sick, you struggling to keep the one that's struggling afloat. And you ain't really loving on the other one because they don't need no help because they successful. Here's the problem with this. Both kids suffer. There is no, but you all right. The one who's successful is lacking a parent or parents. Simply because all your attention goes to the one that's struggling. And on the other side of that, if you're that parent that decides that this is my pride and joy, this is the one that did the most, this is the one that made it, the other one is lacking love because you're not doing anything to help them figure out life. Now here's the deal breaker to all of this. This is why we have this issue. Hear me and hear me well. And I don't even think that this has a, yes it does. I'm sorry. Y'all know Microsoft Office did an update and my whole computer looks completely different. I feel like I'm relearning the entire computer all over again. It's irritating myself. So here's the deal breaker for all of this. I don't care if you had 8 kids in the house. They all ate at the same time. They all took their baths at the same time. They all went to bed at the same time. They all inherited a different version of how they were raised in that house. So how you start out treating your kids right up until their adult age, understand, as parents, we are who they trust first. We are who they mimic first. We are their first authority. So in all of that, they trust us to do the right thing by them. So when that trust is broken as they get older, they start to feel different things. I had a couple of fathers And it hurt me to my core to hear them say this. I had a couple of fathers that felt as though, well, they grown now, ain't nothing I could do with them. Who, Jesus, the blood of Jesus. Some of these kids out here like that because there was nothing we could do with them before. So now that they grown, we send them out here into the world and have them making their own decisions on their own without any guidance. Make it make sense for me. We can't skip raising them and then when they get grown say, well, they grown now. No, they missed the whole childhood of being taught right from wrong. And then the assumption is that these people grow up into being adults and they should just know better. Now, if they grew up in a dysfunctional house, guess what? That dysfunction is normal to them. You hear what I'm saying? Like, how do we get to the point where our kids are young adults and we still effing them up?